Bingo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Introduction on how to use a colorimeter. So this little piece of kit here, very simply, when you come to use it, what it's going to do is send basically light of a given wavelength through a sample, and it's going to detect how much light passes through. We call it the transmission, so we're going to see how much actually passes through. So to set the piece of kit up, we're going to use one of these cuvettes. It's a little plastic test tube, for want of an example. Now, two of the faces, the ones I'm currently holding, are slightly frosted in appearance. The opposite two are clear, and this is the way we want to shine the light through. You'll notice at the very, very top there's a little teeny tiny arrow, and that represents the clear side. So this side here and the one behind it, those are the clear sides.
Just rotate it again.
So if you make that out,
Yeah,
slightly misty, slightly clear. So we want the light to pass through the clear side. So first thing you're going to do is to calibrate this thing. We're going to pop some water. So this is just water. There's nothing in this. It's just the water. About 5 ml or so from the top. I'm then going to turn on the machine, so it will turn on. Now, to check various things, you want to make sure we've got a G there. The G represents the colour of light that we're going to transmit through the sample. So we want it onto G. There we go. Press it again. And we also want this letter T there. If it's an A, we need to press it again so we get it back to a T. T is the transmittance, how much passes through. So I'm going to pop this in. I'm checking there that the arrow is at the front, the clear bit is there, and the light goes from left to right. So I pop it, so the clear sides are left and right, the frosted are north and south, top and bottom if you would. Once that's in, I press the calibrate button. I hold it till it says cal, and then that gives me a value of around 199.9. I take another cuvette and again hold it by the misty sides. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this sample here. So I've got some of my sample here. I'm going to quickly just transfer some to a pipette. And I'm going to fill this one again to about 5 millimeters from the top. I'm not going to pour this in, I'm going to use a pipette because we want to keep the sides of the thing dry on the outside. Now once I've done that, I'm going to place it into the machine with the light passing through the clear. I check that that's the clear surface. I lower it down carefully and I make a note of that value on the screen once it's stabilised. So 51.7, so 51.7% of the light is transmitted through, the rest has been absorbed by the pigment. So what I'm going to do, we're going to try another sample. Now this sample here compared to the last one, if I pull the other one up, this one is slightly darker, so we should expect more of the light to be absorbed and therefore less transmittance. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to recalibrate. Always make sure we've calibrated between samples. It's gone to 99.3 now, so I'm just going to press cal. Back to 99 or 100, 99.9 or 100. So again, I'll take my sample of, in this case, the darker sample. Now again, the idea of a colorimeter is we're not just saying darker or lighter, we're going to put a number value, a quantitative on this one. So I'm bound to get about 5 mils from the top. I can see the little arrow, so I know this is the clear path. I'm going to pop it so the arrow and the clear windows are on the sides of the direction. I'll make a note of this number. Now that number is reduced, we're about 19.9, 18.9, which is what we'd expect. The darker sample should absorb more of the light, so less should be transmitted through to the receptor on this side. When you're testing your samples, if you find, for example, that you test a lighter sample and it gives a value that seems very, very low, it could be you've got the tubes mixed up, there's been a bit of an anomaly, so always be prepared to retest your samples. The darker they get, the lower that value should be, okay?